Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss the solutions for the exercise on miscellaneous exercise on chapter 1 sets. On my last video, we have discussed about the practical problems based on intersection and operation on sets, right? So in this exercise, we'll discuss all the questions based on exercise 1.1 to exercise 1.6. So let's directly go with the question. The first question is, decide among the following sets which are subsets of one another, and it is given that A x that x has that x belongs to R and x satisfy x square minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. So that is the set A. Again B, the set 2, 4, 6, and C 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So C is the set of all positive even natural numbers, and D is with a singleton set and it is having element 6 on it. Okay, so now let's find what are the elements of the set A. For that, to find the elements of the set A, we need to find the roots of this quadratic equation, right? So a set A was x as that x belongs to R and x satisfy x square minus 8x plus 12 equal to 0. So we have to solve this equation to find the elements of the set A. So let's directly find that out. X square minus 6x minus 2x plus 12. You can find any of the formulas for the quadratic equation, right? I am using the simplest way, that is the x square minus sx plus v, sx plus p, where s is the sum of the two roots and p is the product of the roots. That principle I am using. Okay, you can use any way, whichever way you wish. Okay, so 2 into x minus c. So now we have find the roots of it, that are x minus 2 equal to 0. So x is equal to 6 and x equal to 2 are the elements of the set A. So let's write it in roster builder form, that is 2 and 6. What else is given in the question? Now we are already given the other sets too. What are they? B, that is 2, 4 and 6, right? What is set C? Set C is the set of all even natural numbers, right? So it's going on infinity. Again, D is a singleton set having only one set. Now let's start from A. Oh, A is a subset of set B, right? We can write it as one subset. Then what are the other one? A is also a subset of C, right? Because 2 and 6 are included in the set C. So A is also a subset of C. Again, B, when we take to B, again B is a subset of C, right? 2, 4, 6 is already included in the set C. So we can say that B is a subset of C. Again, D is a subset of A, 6. You can see that 6 is already an element of A also. So D is also a subset of A. Again, is that D a subset of B? Yeah. There also you can see that 6 is there in B, and so D is a subset of B. Again, D is also a subset of C. So these are the possible subsets for the question number 1. I hope it's clear. Now let's discuss the problems based on the second question. In each of the following, determine whether the statement is true or false. If it is true, prove it. If it is false, give an example. So now let's solve the first problem in it. If x belongs to A and x belongs to B, then x belongs to B. Is that true or false? It is false. We can prove through an example. Let's consider a set A where the elements of set are 1 and 2. You can take any example for this question, right? For my convenience, I am taking these smaller values. So, but you can take, there is no mandatory way. You can use any examples. So x belongs to A, it is said that. So I considered a small set 1 and 2. Again, it is said that A belongs to B. So we have a set B where set A is one of the element of that, and again I have other elements too, 1 and 3. Then the question is, let's consider here 2. Is 2 an element of A? I'm taking here x as 2. So 2 is an element of A. It is true, right? But is 2 an element of B? No. This is why I said this condition is false. I hope it's clear. As I said before, you can take any examples of your choice. I have just taken smaller values so that we can find it very easily. Next one, if A is a subset of B and B belongs to C, then A belongs to C. Again, is that true or false? It is false. Let's prove that. A is equal to 1 and 2. I'm taking a set like A with elements 1 and 2. Again, A is said to be a subset of B. So I have all elements of A and other elements of 3 and 4. I have taken such an example. Then it is asked that whether A belong to C. For that, I have to consider and another example. So C is like what? Another set having elements 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Subset C is an element, subset B is an element of set C. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm considering again 3 here. So just an example, yeah. Now you can consider that whether A belongs to C. Let's check the elements 1, 2. Whether this element belongs to the subset C? No. That's why I have written this condition as a false. I hope it's clear. Now let's directly do the third question in this problem, in this section. If A is a subset of B and B is a subset of C, then A is a subset of C. This, first of all, for the ease of doing, I'll just show through a Venn diagram, okay? So let's consider a Venn diagram. A, then it is said that A is a subset of B, right? So I'm taking here again. Now you can see that here A is a subset of B, right? Here A is a subset of B. Again, now let's consider another one set. It is said that B is a subset of C. So C, under the subset C, the B comes. So B is also a subset of C. While looking at the Venn diagram, you can easily say that this implies that A is also a subset of C. Other than that, if you wanted to do with problems, you can just take an example. See, A is a 1, 2. And it is said that A is a subset of B. So B has a subset elements of A and other elements other than what are there in A. So B is a subset of A. A is a subset of B, sorry. Then C, take again C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check here. When you take the values, you can say that A is a subset of B, right? All the elements of A are also included in the set B. Similarly, B is also a subset of C, it is said. So all the elements of B are also included in C. So also B is also a subset of C. What this implies, A is also a subset of C. That is, all the elements of A are also included in the subset C. That's it. So now let's discuss our fourth section in the second problem. What is that? If A is a subset of B and if A is not a subset of B and B is not a subset of C, then A is also not a subset of C. Is that true or false? It is false. For that, let's take an example and prove it. A is not a subset. Let's take the set A as 1 and 2 and B as set 3 and 4. You can see that they don't have any common elements and A is also not a subset of B in this example. Again, let's take the subset with 1, 2, 5, 4, 7. So in this question, you can see that here A is not a subset of B. That is satisfied, right? Again, B is not a subset of C. That is also satisfied. But you can say that A in this condition is a subset of C, and hence you know that the statement is false. Now let's discuss the fifth problem in this section. If X belongs to A and A is not a subset of B, then X belongs to B. Let's prove that again. Is that true or false? This statement is false. That we can again prove that through an example. So this statement is false. X is an element which belongs to A. For that, now let's consider the elements of A as 3, 5, 7. Elements of B as, let's say, 3, 4 and 6. Then now you can see that X belongs to A. So let's take the element 5. 5 belongs to A, and also you can see that elements of A is not a subset of B. That is also satisfied. Okay, and in this condition it is said that then x must also belongs to b, but you can see that the element 5 here does not belongs to b, and hence the statement that x belongs to b is false. That's what we have proved here. Okay, now let's do the last section in this second problem, that is, if A is a subset of B and x does not belongs to B, then x does not belongs to A also. Okay, for that we know that the conditions for subset. Let's say there are two sets A and B. These set A is said to be a subset of B if x belongs to A, x belongs to B too. Suppose if x belongs to A, so let's say if x belongs to A, then if it is subset, then we can say that x belongs to B too. When it is not, it is like a contradiction, and if x does not belongs to B, therefore x also does not belongs to A. This is like a contradiction to the statement on subset. You just have to take some examples and think that whether these sets are a subset or not. Just you can take some random examples. I have taken on my own choice. You can choose yours on when you wanted to take examples. Okay, let A, B and C be the sets such that A union B is equal to A union C, and in A intersection B is equal to A intersection C. Show that B is equal to C. So we have here three sets A, B and C, and it is said that A union B is equal to A union C, and it is also said that A intersection B is equal to A intersection C, and we have to prove that B is equal to C. For that, let's take an example. Let's take x belongs to B. If x belongs to B, it also implies that x belongs to A union B, right? Also, you can also write that x belongs to A union C. Why? Because it is already said that A union B is equal to A union C. What does that mean? X belongs to A union C. It means that x belongs to A or x belongs to C. Now let's take a case of it. Case 1. Okay, x belongs to B, x belongs to A, and also x belongs to B. If x belongs to both A and also x belongs to B, then we can say that x belongs to A intersection B also, right? Also, we can say that x belongs to A intersection C also, right? Why? Since A intersection B is what? As same as A intersection C. So we can say that x belongs to A and x belongs to C. Therefore, x belongs to C. Now we can say that B is a subset of C. Similarly, you can also prove that what C is also a subset of B. When two sets are subset to each other, that is, if there are two sets A and B, and it is said that A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, then they are equal sets. Then you can say that B is equal to C. I hope it's clear. Now let's do the fourth problem in this section. Fourth problem is show that the following four conditions are equivalent. There are four conditions given and we have to prove that all these are equivalent to each other. That is, A is subset of B, A minus B is equal to phi, A union B is equal to B, and A intersection B is equal to A. You can also prove these problems using Venn diagrams, yeah? So for our task, now we will do the first and the second conditions are equal. That is, we are going to prove that A intersection B is same as A minus B is equal to phi. So let's directly start with the first problem in it. Okay, let's first prove A intersection B is equal to A minus B is equal to phi. So we have to prove that these two are equal. So for that, we have to say that we have the conditions that let A is a subset of B. We need to prove that A minus B, A subset of B is equal to A minus B equal to phi. If possible, we have to prove that A minus B is not equal to phi. We need to see whether there is any condition where that A minus B is not equal to phi. So we know that when A minus B is not equal to phi, then it means that x, when an element that x belongs to A, but element does not belongs to B. But you know that it is not possible, as A is a subset of B, which is not possible, right? Because when the B is the superset of the set A, then you should say that when x belongs to A, x also belongs to B. Hence, you can say that A minus B is equal to phi. So, therefore, you can say that A minus B is equal to phi. Now, Now let's take A minus B is equal to phi, and we need to prove that it is equal to A is a subset of B. Right? So we are just taking the both the conditions, that the first we are going to find from A subset of B, A minus B is equal to phi, and now we are going to find from A minus B equal to phi, that is A is a subset of B. We are going to prove that. Okay, let's take the example that let x belongs to A. Consider that x is an element of A, then you can clearly say that x is also an element of B. Why? Because if x does not belongs to B, because if x does not belongs to B, then A minus B is not equal to phi. Therefore, you can say that A minus B is equal to phi, and which implies that A is a subset of B. Hence, now we have proved that equation, that is the first problem, is same as the second one. I hope it's clear. So, we don't have enough space to complete here, so I'm going to solve at the end of this section again. Now we have to find the first and the third condition, that is A is a subset of B and also A union B is equal to B. So this is what we have to prove. For first, let's take, we have the condition that A is a subset of B, and from that we are going to prove that A union B is equal to B. When we know that A is a subset of B, we clearly know that B is a subset of A union B, right? Then you can also write, let's consider that X belongs to A union B. Let's take an element of A union B. What does that mean? X belongs to A or X belongs to B. Now let's take the case condition. Case 1. If x belongs to A, it also means that x belongs to B. Why? Because A is a subset of B. Right? Then you can say that A union B is a subset of B, because it is already said that let x belongs to A union B, and here it is said that x belongs to B also. Then you can say that A union B is a subset of B. Now let's take the second case, that is x belongs to B. When x belongs to B, you already know that A is a subset of B. So A union B is equal to B here. Right? And from the above conditions also, we know that if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, then you can write that A is equal to B. Similarly, now you can write this considering these two statements, A union B is equal to B. I hope it's clear. Conversely, now let's prove from A union B is equal to B that A is a subset of B. For that, let's consider x belongs to A. When x belongs to A, it implies that x belongs to A union B, right? Because why? A is also a subset of A union B. Again, from this you can also write that x belongs to B also. Why? Because we already know the condition that A union B is equal to B. So we can write this as x belongs to B also. So A union B is equal to B, and hence x belongs to A and x belongs to B. Therefore A is a subset of B, and hence now we have proved that the first statement is equivalent to the third condition. Okay, so let's solve the fifth problem. Show that if A is a subset of B, then C minus B is a subset of C minus A. We know that A is a subset of B. Okay, we need to prove that C minus B is a subset of C minus A. For that, let's consider an element X which belongs to C minus B. Then what does that implies? That is, X belongs to C and X does not belongs to B, because it is said that X belongs to C minus B. All the elements of C and which are not in B, X belongs to C and X does not belongs to B. You can write this statement again as X belongs to C and X does not belongs to A. Sorry, it is X does not belongs to A. You can write in like B, you can replace with A. How? Because it is already said that A is a subset of B. So you can also write this as X does not belongs to A also. So what does that implies? X belongs to C minus A. So if X belongs to C minus B, X also belongs to C minus A, and you can say that C minus B is a subset of C minus A. I hope it's clear. For that, we have considered an element from C minus B. Then we have proved that when C minus B, X belongs to C and X does not belongs to set B. If X belongs to C, then X does not belongs to A also. Why? Because A is a subset of B. Hence, that implies that X belongs to C minus A. Therefore, we can say that C minus B is a subset of C minus A. So let's prove the sixth problem. Assume that P of A is equal to P of B. Show that A is equal to B. What is this P of A? P of A is the power set or the all the subsets of the set A. For example, if you take set A with elements 1 and 2, the power set of A is the all the subsets of the set A is called the power set. Okay, so we have to prove that A is equal to B. Let's take the LHS. For example, let's take P of A is equal to P of B, and from that we will prove that A is equal to B. For that, again, as we do, let's consider an element from X which belongs to A. As you can also say that let X belongs to A, and also you can say that when X belongs to A belongs to P of A also, right? Where X is an element of A, then the A is like an element in the subset of power set A, right? For example, if you take the set 1, 2, so what is the power set of it? Set 1, 5 or the empty set, then 2, again 1 and 2. So these are the elements of the set, right? If you consider the element 1 belongs to A, that is true, right? Again, so if 1 belongs to A, the set A also belongs to the power set. You can see that this is like an element in the set power set A. So A belongs to P of A also. Therefore, you can say that in general X belongs to C for some C belongs to P of B, then you can say that C is a subset of B. Therefore, you can say that X belongs to B also. If X belongs to A and X belongs to B, then we can say that A is a subset of B. Similarly, you can prove it in the opposite way also, taking that X belongs to B, and you can also consider then taking as X belongs to B, then you can prove that B is a subset of A. Similarly, you can also show that B is a subset of A. And when A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, we can say that A is equal to B. So now let's discuss the seventh problem. Is it true that for any set A and B, P of A union P of B is equal to P of A union B? So we need to prove that problem. So justify your answer. Let's take for that two sets. Take two sets A and B. Okay, let A is equal to 0 and 1, B is equal to 1 and 2. Okay, what is then P of A? P of A is all the possible subsets of the set A, that is 5, set 0 possible, set 1, and again 1 and 2. Okay, then what about the P of B? P of B is equal to 5 again, then 1, then 2, again. What are the possibles? 1 and 2. I wrote a mistake here, it is 1 and 0. Okay, now what is P of A union P of B? That is all the elements or all the subsets of the set P of A and all the subsets of the power set P of B. that is 5 0 1 2 0 1 and 1 and 2. So these are the elements of P of A union P of B. Now to find P of A union B, first let's find what is A union B, that is 0 1 and 2. So let's find it. P of A union B is, so what are the elements? 5 again, empty set, again 0 1 2, then again 0 and 1 1 and 2 2 and 0, and also 0 1 2. So by seeing this, you can see that P of A union P of B have less elements compared to P of A union B, and they are not equal. And hence we have proved through example that P of A union P of B is not equal to P of A union B. I hope this question is clear. Now let's discuss the eighth problem. Show that for any sets A and B, A is equal to A intersection B union A minus B. This you can prove through statements. So I thought like I will prove that using Venn diagrams. You can do it in any way, whichever way you wish. So if you are using proving it through Venn diagrams, so take it as the LHS part and the RHS part. In the LHS, it is said only the set A. So mark the set A in the Venn diagram. All the Venn diagrams, all the circles are mentioned as A and B. Okay, the set A and B. Okay, so LHS is set as set A. So this is the area, right? Again, now let's find we have to prove that LHS is equal to RHS. So for that, to find it in a more comfortable way, I have splitted it here. A intersection B, A minus B. Then we will take the union of that and write it in the third Venn diagram. So what is A intersection B? A intersection B is this portion, right? Again, what is A minus B? X, it belongs to A and X does not belongs to B. That is this region, right? So if you take the union of that, what it would be? The complete set A. Now compare your both the answers. You have proved that LHS is equal to RHS, and hence this statement is valid. Now let's go to the second part of this problem. Again, A union B minus A is equal to A union B. So first let's start with the LHS. So it is set A to be marked in the first one, set A, and then it is set B minus A. What is this B minus A? That is X belongs to B, but X does not belongs to A. What is that portion? This is the portion, right? This is the portion. So if you take the union of that, what you will get? The complete both the sets A and B, right? I hope it's clear. And the RHS portion is of what again? A union B, that is both the sets again A and B. So now compare your both the answers. You can see that both these are equal, and hence you have proved this statement using Venn diagrams. So that's all for this section, and in my next video I'll be covering upon the solutions for the questions 9 to 16. So see you over there. Bye bye.